Hello again, Stitchy friends. Welcome back to my channel, Pages and Stitches. That's spelled pages, the number 3 stitches, both here and on Instagram. My name is Kelly and I'm back. I'm back for another one. It took me long enough, right? Today is Monday, September 30th. So it's the last day of September and I am bringing you my Flosstube number 31 to go over everything I went the last couple of months. It's been about 10 weeks since we last chit-chatted, made another video. So anyways, I'm back. Thank you for your patience. I so appreciate you for being here. Okay, so since it's been roughly 10 weeks, I've got a pretty chunky update to bring you, which is great. To those of you who are returning, thank you so much for coming back. Like I said, I appreciate your patience with my more extended breaks between videos. And I definitely appreciate that you took the time to come back to check in with me again. For those of you that are new here, welcome. Thank you so much for clicking on my video and giving my channel a try. I hope that you continue to come back for more. Like I said, today's Flosstube number 31. But as you can see behind me, I also am a quilter and I film quilting videos the same way I do my Flosstube videos. I call it my Quilter's Corner. And I do one for every Flosstube video. So there's going to be a quilting video coming out on my channel right after this, right after I post this one. So if you are into quilting or crafting in that method at all, definitely check that video out. I'd love to hear from you there. I know that there's a bajillion quilters out there, so I'd love to find more of you, connect with you on my Quilter's Corner the same way we do on Flosstube. So I'm gonna do just a quick little life update, really fast. There hasn't been like a ton of stuff that's gone on in the past 10 weeks, but I did get a promotion at work, which is great. So I'm gonna be starting a new schedule, learning a new skill. If you don't know, I work in radiology. Currently, I am an X-ray tech. A radiologic technologist is the title, and I'm going to start learning MRI. That is the promotion I made. I'm going to switch to a different modality, which is a little bit more intensive in terms of the education. So that's going to be exciting to learn something new. Also, I just celebrated my 5-year anniversary at work, which is cool. They have this tendency to do like a little banquet, a little dinner for the people who have been there for 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20, yada, 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 to basically say, hey, thanks for not quitting. So I'm gonna go to that. That's coming up next week. And my schedule will change after I take some time off later this month, in October, I mean. Which affects this none at all. You guys will never, obviously you're not here for my work. But it's gonna be exciting for me because I'll get more days off and therefore more time to stitch, hopefully. And then the last little quick life update is mid-October, in about 2 weeks, I'm going to the Queen City Stitch Retreat, the 2nd annual Queen City Stitch Retreat, which is hosted by Maggie of Kitschy Whips and Amy of Fiber Arts Amy. I will tag them down below. Also, any floss tubers that I mention, any sort of anything that I can tag below, I will have tagged down below. So definitely check out the description box. But I'm going to that. I'm gonna reunite with some much beloved and very missed friends there, the ones that I had connected with over Flosstube. So I'm very excited about that. And then when I get back from Queen City, that's when I'm gonna start my new job. Cool. So that's life. That's all of it. Not terribly much. So real quick, I'm going to go over my reading update. Again, if you're new here, I like to do an update of everything I read since the last time we met. The pages of Pages and Stitches is representative of my third passion, which is reading. I have my cross-stitching, I have my quilting, and Pages represents reading. So I don't give a review, I just like to show you what I've been consuming with my eyeballs in the reading world. So I actually read quite a lot, so I'm gonna try and go through it quickly. First, I'm gonna insert a picture here. I did read a book on Kindle. The first one is called Freeing Luka, which is by Victoria Aveline. That is number 2 in her series. Then I read Unfortunately Yours by Tessa Bailey. This is number 2 in this duology. Then I read Death by Laura Thalassa. This is number 4 and the last of this series, which is about the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse. And then I read Finding Gobi by Dion Leonard. I don't know if it's Leonard or Leonard. I think it's Leonard because he says it French, I believe. This is a cute little nonfiction about a guy that found this dog while running a race. And then I read Bride by Ali Hazelwood. This is the first of what I hope will be a series. She hasn't announced sequels, but it's kind of set up like there will be. And it was good, so I hope there will be. I read Ashes and the Star-Cursed King by Carissa Broadbent. This is number 2 in this trilogy. And number 3 comes out next month, I think. I'm really excited. No, November. And then lastly, I read all of these. So these are the next 4 of the Plated Prisoner series by Raven Kennedy. We have Gleam, Glow, Gold, and Goldfinch. This is the last one of 6 of this series. And they're not small books, so I did a lot of reading this month. Okay, so that was reading. Let's talk stitching, right? That's what you care about. I'm gonna take you on a journey here for a bit. Okay, so I have 4 new starts, 5 finishes, 6 FFOs, plus a re-FFO. Are you confused yet? Don't worry, I'll show you. Yeah, so I kind of caught a wild hair and I wanted to both start and finish stuff. So I'll explain to you how I did that. So we're gonna start with the new starts, which came out of nowhere. I had previously mentioned that I only wanted to start something new when I finished something, and I hadn't really finished anything, but I was really itching for it. But I also didn't want to add a bunch of big whips to my project rotation, so I just started a bunch of smalls and then finished those smalls. So I have 4 SAFs, start and finish. And the 4 that I'm talking about came from this book here, Stitch Fairies. Now, I was enabled to buy this book from Tammy Cinnamon Stitches. She's an excellent floss tuber. I will tag her down below. She did a project in this book, which, let me find it. I adored this one. And she showed it finished on her page, and I was like, I want to do that immediately. So I bought the book, but there's a bunch of other patterns in here that are really beautiful. And so I went digging around in here, and I came across the birthday fairies. There's one for each month, and I did 4 of them. So let me try and show you the ones I did. So this one is March. I did that one. And then we have June. Little demure June. And then I also did July and September. I did those 4. And I converted their, so whenever I was kitting them up, I just kind of kitted from stash, so I didn't have all the called for colors necessarily, so I just kind of got close with their outfits, and then I converted some of their skin and hair so that there was a little bit more diversity. So I'm going to show you the 4 fairies that I did all at once, and you'll see why in just a second. Ta-da! I scrapbooked them. So first, let me show you the fairies. This is July. Now you'll notice from the picture that I showed you, July looked a lot more patriotic. The skirt was red and white striped, and there was also gold on there. I didn't really want to do that because none of the other fairies were multicolored like that. I kind of wanted them all to be within the same colored family. So July, I just made all blue. And then this one is June. Now her hair was not this blonde. I made it more yellow so that she would be a blonde. Also, their wings aren't fully filled in the patterns because they're stitched on like a coordinating fabric, typically white. But I obviously didn't do that, so I filled in their wings with white. And then here is March, and then this one is September, little sunflower. Cute. And these are all stitched on a 20 count Ada in the color Purple Passion, and they are 1/1 full cross. And they're tiny, and I love it. Everything's cuter when it's smaller, right? So, Kelly, why are they scrapbooked? Well, I'll tell you. If you are not following Laura from Stitching by the Shore, you should be. I love her. She does Friday updates, and she's one of those ones that I super admire because she does weekly updates, and she always has like a significant amount to show. I don't know where you get the time, Laura. But she gave me the idea, and I know it's not, her idea is not like originally hers. Other people have done this, I'm sure. But she scrapbooks her smalls, and I had been wanting to do that because in spite of the fact that I have a bunch of smalls, I don't necessarily want a bunch of tiny frames everywhere, and I don't care for like the pillow or the leaner finish either. Like I don't have any dough bowls to put pillows in. I don't know, it's just not my style. It's not that they're not cute, they are cute, but the way I want my apartment decorated, I just didn't want a bunch of like seasonal tiny things everywhere. So I put all my smalls in a scrapbook, which is where my 6 FFOs and the 1 re-FFO have ended up. So I'm gonna show you my scrapbook real quick. The first 4 FFOs are these. This is a 2-page spread, clearly. And then I have 2 more in a re-FFO that I'm gonna show you. Okay, so the first other additional FFO, all of these you've seen already, but I just hadn't finished them yet. But the first one is this page here. So this was the moth sampler, or that I was gonna make a sampler from Just Cross Stitch magazine that I ended up, once I finished this, I was just like, no, I'm done. This is stitched on that same fabric as the fairies. This is that Purple Passion 20 count Ada 1/1 full cross. It is my Luna moth. And I wanted to start with this one because I want to show you these bits here. So I had already mentioned Tammy Cinnamon Stitches. She is not only a floss tuber, she's also a fantastic artist, and she painted these. These are her artwork that she has now converted into other things. So I ordered these from her. I'm gonna link her website down below. It's tpmakes.com. And I knew once she had showed it off on her Instagram that I had to have it. So what I did was I went to her website. Sorry for looking down. And I ordered bookmarks, and I ordered tags. And I specifically ordered these because I knew they'd be small enough that I could use it in my scrapbook, and that Luna moth is absolutely perfect. But I want to show you the other things that she included. So here's all of the bookmarks. Now I'm debating whether or not I want to actually like use them as bookmarks, or right now I have them saved in my little stash off camera so that maybe I can use them in another scrapbook page, because they are perfect for it on this lovely cardstock with lines on the back so you can take notes. And then I got the same fairies, the same moths on these little tags, which are so beautiful. I love them. She did a fantastic job. She painted them. That's amazing. And she also has like frogs and little forest creatures. She's got and of course her supply and her stash is always expanding as she creates. So definitely go check out her channel. But she also included little stickers Now, I use any stickers I get, I put on my sewing machine. So it's like a collage of stickers. So these are going on my sewing machine. And I want to show you, so here it came with this little thank you card. And look, I want to show you, 5% of all purchases are donated to the World Wildlife Fund Canada. Excuse me? What? Art that saves the world? Thank you very much, Tammy. This is fantastic. And she's got a cute little note there. She just is absolutely a doll for thinking about that. You can scan the QR code and go get more information. And here is her business card, tpmakes.com. And here's all of her socials. I will tag everything that I can down below. She's got another QR code for information. And so, oh, and these little, the tags came with this little twine that I have saved, and I'll show you how I've been utilizing it. But she's got, like, that was a cool little package from her that I ordered just for this finish. And I got all sorts of goodies with it. I think it turned out great. Tammy, what do you think? This is specifically why I ordered your stuff. I love it. So, yep, here is number 5 in my FFOs that went in my scrapbook. And then number 6 is this one here, Pirate Queen. This was stitched on an 18 count natural Rustico Aida 2/1 full cross, all the call for colors. It even has this little gold charmy charm. Yeah. So I finished this one a while ago. This was also a SAF. I was starting to finish whenever I did it last year, I think. And I just hadn't had it finished yet because I knew I wanted it to go in the scrapbook, but I didn't want to start a scrapbook until I had enough to actually like justify starting one. So this is finally finished. And this is that red twine I was talking about that Tammy gave me. I utilized it there just to set a little finish there. And then this last one is the re-FFO. I had it framed previously and it looked good in the frame, but I decided I wanted to put it in the scrapbook because A, it's tiny, and B, I just wanted it to be a little bit more decorated, celebrated maybe is the right word. And that's this one here. This is Freedom 1865 by the Primitive Hair. It was stitched on an 18 count, I believe, 18 count oatmeal, like natural Aida. It's not an oatmeal Aida, it's like that natural Rustico Aida 2/1 full cross. I forgot for a second. And it looked really good in its blue frame, but I wanted it to have more like gravitas. So I found this other little frame that I thought looked good around it, and then was able to put it on this scrapbook page. So those are all my scrapbook pages. Those are all my FFOs. You may, if you were keeping track, you may have noticed that I only showed you 4 new starts and 4 finishes, and early in the video I said I have 5 finishes. It's because I have another one to show you. Oh my God, who is she? She's a stitching fiend. So I'll show you that in a second. It's not scrapbooked and you'll see why. But before I move on, I do want to show you the scrapbook itself. It's just an 8.5 by 11 black vinyl scrapbook that I got from Michael's. And I had ordered these decals to put on the front from Etsy. So it says, "My soul is fed with needle and thread." And then I bought this little hand with a needle in it. And I thought that was a cute little addition to the front. So it wasn't just plain and boring. And this is the shop that I got the decals from. Cape Sand Crafts by Kat, CCC. And I will have her Etsy tag down below. So yeah, I got these little stitching decals and I put them on my vinyl scrapbook. So you can tell it's a stitching scrapbook. Okay, so let me show you my 5th finish. It's just a finished object, it's not fully finished. And let me show you why. So I would show you the picture, but obviously I don't need to because the project is finished now. And that is this one here. This is Snapdragon by Nora Corbett. So I had shown this last time. I'm gonna insert a picture over top of where it was last time. I think it was just basically the skirt that was done. And I wanted to keep it out and continue with it because this is going with me in a couple weeks to the Queen City Stitch Retreat. So this I started with my friend Paula from Stitching in High Heels. We met last year at the Queen City Stitch Retreat and we started this project together. Hers is stitched on this lovely warm pink, which is beautiful, and it gives this project like a totally different vibe. It really warms it up. I did mine on this 32 count linen in the color Serene by Picture This Plus. And it's like a mint, a very soft, like subtle minty green. And I wanted to keep it out because I was worried I wasn't gonna be finished before we brought it to the retreat. And we wanted to have it finished so we could display it on the brag table together, and now we can. So look, Paula, I'm a woman of my word. I finished, thank goodness. So I mean, this was the bulk of the stitching, and I had already had that done last time we met. So I just needed to finish her wings and her torso and head, and then do the beading. And the beading went really fast. There's only 2 beads, these purple ones that are in her hair and her dress, and then these sort of like goldy, bronzy ones along the edges of the wings. And I will have this framed. I've already got an idea of how I want to frame it and all of that, but I don't want to frame it until after I travel with it, because obviously traveling with the frame is not ideal, especially if you're flying, and I am flying. But yeah, I'm very excited. This is another finish. I probably won't have a lot of finishes this year, but I wanted to add this one to my count. So yeah, that is one more I can check off the list. Gosh, she's beautiful. I love her. Ignore this little stain. I don't know what that is. I don't know where it came from. It looks like ink. It's on the back too. But like, I don't know that I was ever around ink while I was stitching. I guess I was. But this is a hand-dyed, and I don't want to wash it and like lose all the modeling and ruin it. So don't worry about this. It's gonna get cut up. It's gonna get covered up whenever I frame. It's basically gonna go, the mat is gonna go like from there to there. So it's gonna cover it just enough. I'm very excited about that one. So next I'm gonna go over my whips, not finishes, just whips, but I'm very excited about the progress. So this time around I was able to finish my rotation. I got all the way to the end, and then at the end of this video, when we go over plans, I'll go over how I'm gonna proceed forward. So first things first. The first project that I worked on is this one here. This is Winter Solstice by Joan Elliott. And last time you saw it, it looked like this. It is being stitched on a 36 count linen in the colorway Perplexed by To Dye For Fabrics. Unfortunately, the To Dye For Fabrics is on a hiatus from dyeing this year. So unfortunately, if you like this fabric, you can't get it right now. I don't know if she's coming back from her hiatus this coming year. Fingers crossed, because I love her fabric, but anyways, won't want. So this is where I got to. Hooray, I finished that tree in the middle. Isn't it beautiful? I tell you what, I am so happy to never be stitching another little leaf like that ever again, because I was pretty darn sick of them by the time I got to the last one. But I finished the tree, and I got all the way down to the bottom of the trunk. Beneath the trunk, it's got these sort of like, sorry, I'm trying to fix the glare. It's got these sort of like Celtic knot kind of roots. So when I pull this out next time, I'm probably going to work on that part. And then we got the fairies here and the little critters burrowed into the ground, and then the framework. So because this is stitched where like everything is in its own little box with this sort of checkered border in between, what I'm going to do, my plan is to finish each box and then either go up or go down as I progress. So I'm going to finish this before I go on to anything else. At least that's my plan for now. But yeah, I think it looks great. I chose to stitch it on a purple instead of a blue because I wanted something, purple's my favorite color. So I wanted to do something that was still cool toned, but wasn't that super light blue. I felt like that was too obvious of a choice for me. So I went to a cool toned purple, and I think it looks beautiful. I can't wait to pull this out again and get more stitching on it. So the next project that I worked on, which is the last one in my rotation of projects, is this one here. This is called Friendship Teapots. It's a very old DesignWorks kit. And funny enough, it's actually designed by Joan Elliott. I didn't realize that when I bought it. And I also didn't realize that when I set up my rotation to where I'm stitching 2 Joan Elliott's back to back. I guess I really like her stuff, right? Unfortunately, this is no longer available. It is out of print. You can tell by the way this looks, like this is a very old DesignWorks kit. And like even the price is like an old school price. You can't find a kit for $9.99 anymore. But I got this on clearance, so I don't even think I spent the $9.99. Anyways, here's what it looked like the last time you saw it. I'm stitching it on an 18 count ivory Aida 2/1 full cross using the called for colors, using the kit colors. I'm not pulling from stash, they're kit colors. And I did switch the fabric out because the kit itself came with a 14 count Aida. I switched it for an 18 count because that is my preferred Aida count to stitch on. I really love 18 count. And here's where it is now. Look at that. It's a beautiful little teapot. So I kept going until I had enough stitches around this center teapot to also have it backstitched. And so it is fully backstitched. Every part of this teapot is done. And I think it came out beautiful. I love it. So I got in a little bit of the shelf that it's on with this little kind of lace looking doily border. Over here on either side are plates and then a teacup in front. Little china. So whenever I bring this out again, I'm gonna finish, you know, one or both of those. I'm gonna work on the shelf before I go up or down. But isn't it cute? That is so cute. This is why I love DesignWorks. I have a lot of DesignWorks kits, and I just find them so enjoyable. I really love the artwork. But like I said, unfortunately, this is not available. You might be able to find it on like an eBay or an Etsy page if you were hunting hard enough, but I haven't because I didn't need to. I have the kit. So this is the last one of my rotation that I had started previously last year. But I do have one more whip to show you. And that is this one here. This is the Forest Calendar kit by Riolis that I had been working on. I started this as my New Year, New Start. I started on January 1st or December 31st. I don't know. I started on New Year's. And I love this one because, first of all, I like a Riolis kit that has the wool acrylic thread. The fuzziness doesn't bother me, and I think it fills in the stitches super well. I had done another calendar for 2023, and I really liked the way I could like track my stitching throughout the year. So I started another one, and I really like this one because it doesn't have the months, it just has numbers, and it also doesn't have the year. So this one is kind of eternal. So this is what it looked like the last time you saw it. I had just finished June, so I had 6 blocks done. And I did switch out the kit fabric for one of my own. The kit fabric was a 14 count natural Aida, and I switched it for a 16 count Aida called Blue Whip. That fabric came from a shop that is no longer in business, so it is not readily available as well. I have a theme here, stitching on fabrics that are not readily available. So if you love it, I apologize. And here's where it is now. Hooray! I did the next row for all of the months we've gone through. This is July, August, and September. So I've got 9 months worth. I just have the last 3 of the year, and then I'll be done. Very exciting. So I'll bring you in closer. July has these beautiful flowers and like bluebells with the little ladybug and the little pack that got dropped from the little hedgies that are in August. So we've got sibling hedgehogs. This one's obviously well prepared. This one lost his supplies, unfortunately. There's another ladybug flying around here, more beautiful white flowers. And then we have Mama Hedgehog over here in August with her pack on a stick, and we get a little mushy and some foliage here. So I love that there's like a story that kind of goes this way as they move into the next month, with the hedgehog that lost his little pack. But then I also really enjoy the fact that there's a clear changing of the seasons as we go through these months too, right? So we've got these beautiful summer flowers, and then the grass is starting to kind of thin out, and then by the time we get here, we're starting to see the fall colors come in with the little mushy. Love it. Super duper cute. This is such a fun project. So this one I plan to obviously have as another finish for the year. I'm gonna finish it in December. So let's go over what's coming up in the coming months. So we have, in October, we have the little owl with all the little October fall colors. And then we get into November with this skiing snow bunny. And then December, which has another penguin and Christmas lights. And then we have the clock that's counting down to the new year, which I think is super cute. So that's what should appear on it the next time you see it, you know, if all goes well. And I also have plans to frame this one. This is gonna be a gift for someone. They don't know it. They don't watch my Flosstube, but it's gonna be a gift for her daughter. And I think she's gonna love it. Oh my gosh, this has been so fun. It's so cute. Look how beautiful and filled in those stitches are. So also I think it looks a little bit more dense with the coverage because I went down from a 14 count to a 16 count. It's not necessarily any harder to stitch by pulling the threads through. It is stitched either 2 or 3 over 1 full cross, and I don't have any difficulty pulling everything through. If I'd gone down to an 18 count, I think I absolutely would, but 16 count, everything was still easy to work with. But I also didn't want to go down to an 18 count because then I would probably have to size down my needle, but it's a thicker floss, so I didn't want to have to size down my needle and then have that struggle getting it on my needle, you know what I mean? So that was everything in terms of my whips. Not a lot of whips to have worked on. Well, I disagree because each of those fairies is a different pattern. But a certain amount of time was spent finishing in my scrapbook, finishing my Snapdragon. So I didn't get to work on as much as I had wanted to, but that's okay because I still got to the end of my rotation. And so that's gonna lead me into plans for how I'm gonna continue through the rest of the year. Now, I had originally said that I wanted to go back to the beginning and start my rotation over and then keep going. But while I'm done with my rotation and I'm approaching the end of the year, I kind of really want to finish some stuff. So what I did was I went back through my rotation and I found a couple projects that I think I can feasibly get done before the end of December. So I'm gonna stitch those next and then hopefully have that many more finishes to show you in my next video. So I'm gonna show you which ones those are real quick. So the first project that I'm pretty sure I will be able to finish before the year's out is this one here. This is Cross Stitch Tools that was designed by James the PH Stitcher. He is another floss tuber here on YouTube. I will tag his channel below. He gifted me this pattern after he created it, and I've had an absolute joy working on it. And I think that I will be able to finish this and get it scrapbooked before the year's done. The next one is this one here. This is another Riolis kit, and this is called Dreamer. I started this one for Carla Being Crafty's Black Cat birthday sale last year, and I have basically the head and the moon, and then I'm done. So I'm gonna get this one finished and scrapbooked, and then the other one that I think for sure I will be able to finish before the year is out is this one here. This is Arranging Mushrooms by Ink Circles. I am stitching this with Laura of Lala D Stitches. She actually just restarted this one on a fabric that she dyed herself, which is this delicious forest evergreen color that, oh my God, it's so beautiful. I'm so jealous that I didn't change this to a green because hers looks yummy. It's so pretty. So I will link her channel down below. Definitely go check it out. She's got a picture of it on Instagram so you can see it. But I have basically just these little dudes here on this side, these last ones on the edge, and then the same on this other side plus that one and that one. So not much left at all. And it's, you know, it's a small piece. So another one that I will get finished and scrapbooked before the end of the year. At least that's my goal. Also, since I finished my Snapdragon, which was like a retreat start last year, and retreat is coming up again, I'm gonna start something when I'm at retreat. It's not gonna be a Nora Corbett or a Mira, at least not yet. The guest designer for the retreat this year is Autumn Lane Stitchery. I don't have any Autumn Lane pieces, and I know that there is a retreat pattern coming out, so I want to wait and see what that is before I kind of decide if I want to start an Autumn Lane Stitchery. So instead I went through my stash and I pulled out a project that I had been thinking about for a while. Earlier this year, I think it was earlier this year, my sister, my oldest sister, Rachel, she got rid of all of her cross stitch stuff and sent it to me. And she gave me a couple of patterns, including a very old, well, I don't know how old, an older Dimensions kit, which I will have to insert a picture of because I don't have the cover photo for with my stuff. But it's this one here. This is called Mariner's Light by Dimensions. And it has, I forget what the kits are called, but they come with like a little charm that you also attach to it. I don't have the charm, which is that ship's wheel that they're using as a compass rose. So instead I'm gonna use a gold metallic and just stitch one in instead of putting the charm there. And I had been thinking about this for a while, and it felt like the perfect time to start because Andrew, the runner stitcher, has started a lighthouse stitch along where you just stitch on a project that has a lighthouse attached to it somehow. I know Laura of Laladi Stitches actually just finished her lighthouse project, and then Laura of Stitching by the Shore is also working on this Sal. I hope it's not too late to start. Andrew, please tell me I didn't miss the deadline, if there is one. Because I'm starting this one in a couple weeks, and I only have the pattern. So what I had to do was, because it's a Dimensions kit and they make their own floss, I went and I found a Dimensions to DMC conversion chart online and printed it out, and then found my DMC conversions. Now they are not exact matches, but they're pretty dang close. So I've kitted it up. It's going with me to retreat, and I'm gonna show you the color palette. Here's all my DMCs that are going in this chart, which is a lovely little nautical piece, beautiful colors. There's very few blends. I think there's like 2 blends. So yeah, that's it. That's a really lovely color palette. A really nice like fall color palette too. So I'm very excited to bring this on with me to the retreat so I can get it started. I'm just gonna be stitching it on an 18 count white Aida. You're gonna hear 18 count Aida a lot for me if you're new, because I just love it. I love the size, I love the ease, all of that. So that's gonna be started at the retreat. Now, coming up in the future, near future, before the end of this year, I had promised you a framing tutorial, and I have not forgotten it. I'm going to be framing, oops, that's the back. These pieces here, this one is my Magical Creatures calendar from Clouds Factory that I finished last year. And then this is my mom's piece, which is a Carolyn Manning design, the quilt sampler. And just so you know, I'm not a dirty, rotten liar, I'm gonna show you, I have the frames. So I'm not gonna pull these out because I'm gonna do that in the framing video, but I got the frame from, this one came from Michael's for the quilt sampler. And then this came from Custom Frame Solutions, which is one of my favorite sources, which is an online framing shop. And you're like, what is that shape? Well, when it's larger like this, they send it to you disassembled and then you put it together. So I'll show that in my framing video. But I just wanted you to know, if you're still waiting for it, it's coming. I have the supplies. I just have to carve out a little bit of time to film it, and then I'll have that for you. So it's going to be up before the end of the year, I promise. And then other than that, if I get any more time to stitch once I've done the 3 projects that I know for sure I want to finish, my forest calendar, and then my new start, I'll pull I might start my rotation over after that. I'll pull other whips back out. So normally this would be where I finish my video, but I actually have some haul to show you. So I did really good in holding out on purchases for most of the year. I didn't break that until about August. So I got more than halfway through the year before I bought some stuff. It's not too terribly much in terms of the amount, but I do have some stuff. So I'm gonna show you my haul real quick and then we'll say goodbye. So first, I'm gonna kind of just flash it really quick. I bought some needle minders, and I'm not gonna show you what they look like right away because these are gonna be gifts for my table mates whenever I go to the Queen City Stitch Retreat. But I wanted to share with you this business card. So this Flowertown Originals is one of my favorite places to buy needle minders because first of all, they're beautiful. She does clay crafting, but their magnets are so strong. They're so strong. So I'm gonna give you a preview of one. So here's the needle minder right there. How cool is that? It's beautiful. I've got it attached to her business card, so whoever gets that one can go check out the shop. But I will never stop recommending Kathy from Flowertown Originals. Like I said, her needle minders are some of my favorite, but she also does other stuff. She does buttons, she does Christmas ornaments, she does seam rippers and styluses and just tons of stuff. So go check out her channel go check out her Instagram and give her some love because she's got some crazy good stuff. Also, if you go to her shop and you're like, man, I want to find a needle minder and there's none there because they tend to sell out, send her a message. That's what I did. Send her a message on Instagram and be like, hey, can I get a needle minder from you? You got any coming soon? And she's 10 out of 10 in terms of customer experience and customer service. She gets back to you really fast. I bought these, they were shipped same day, and then I got them like 2 days later. She's just great with customer service. So this is part of my haul. And then I got a couple of patterns from Artisy. So I have been itching to start another full coverage. Ever since I finished my Woodland Castle project, I've been wanting to start another one. And I have several to choose from. The one that I really wanted to do is this one here. This is June Flowers in Radiance by Artisy Cross Stitch. So I've had this pattern for a while and I've been drooling over it, waiting for the opportunity to start it. And so I kind of am gonna do another New Year, New Start, but it's gonna be this one, sort of. Let me explain. I've had this in my stash and this is the haul portion. So you're wondering why I mentioned it. Well, this is the full-sized, like, original size of the pattern. It is 292 stitches wide by 48 high. So on an 18 count, it's 16.5 inches wide by 19.5 inches high. And that is a big project. So I was thinking that that was a little bit intimidating. So I went snooping around on Artisy and I found that they have the same pattern in a mini. So that's what I bought from them. I'm gonna show you the difference because the pictures on the front is the mock-up of each. So you can see this one is obviously a lot more like clear and defined because it's got more stitches and therefore more space and colors to sort of get a clearer picture. And then this is the mini, which I still think is beautiful and stunning, and I think it's much more palatable for me. So I'm not technically counting this as haul because I'm just switching it down. So the new stitch count is 196 by 240, and on an 18 count it's 11 inches wide by 13.5 inches high. So that's much more palatable for me. And this one is going to be my New Year, New Start. But like most of you know, when you buy something from a shop, like you can't just buy one because it'll get lonely. whenever it's shipped. So the Artisy cross stitch patterns that I got from the Artisy shop come from Australia. So I needed to give it a buddy, a travel buddy, so it didn't get lonely all the way from Australia. So I bought another mini, which is this one here. This is Field Trip, mini Field Trip. And that is just like the cutest thing ever. Look at those cute little duckies. Mama duck and little baby ducks. Oh, it's so cute. And it's roughly the same size. Actually, it's a little bit smaller. It's 11.5 wide by 18, or excuse me, 8.5 high. So it's actually a little bit smaller than the June Flowers and Radiance. So this is haul, obviously. I have no plans to start that one as of yet, but we'll see what happens when I get to next year. Because by then, I will have finished all those other 3 I pulled out and my calendar, and I've got my Snapdragon done. So I might start something else. I know for sure New Year, New Start is going to be June Flowers and Radiance. Oh, but I did break down and get 2 more things. Don't judge me. So I had talked about my love of Designworks and Joan Elliott. So I bought a kit, which is a Designworks by Joan Elliott. Joan Elliott, right there. So this is called Grace. Actually, I think it's called like Elegant Grace or something on the website where I got it. I got this from 123Stitch, I think. I'll have it linked where I got it. But I think it's not called Grace. I think they're selling it under a different name, like Elegant Grace. This is an older Designworks kit as well because of the fact that it doesn't say Designworks except for right there. And I don't believe Joan Elliott designs for their company anymore. So I don't know, but it is still available because I got it from like a mainstream shop. But if you don't know by now, I love Asian artwork. I love geishas. I love anything in that sort of Japanese culture. And she is an absolute stunner with this beautiful, beautiful yellow kimono and this sort of like windowed bit behind her. She's holding a little bird in her hand and her other hand. It's so cute. So I couldn't resist. I had to get her. I will be switching out the fabric because I believe this is a 14 count. Yeah, 14 count Aida. I may do this natural color or rustic color with the fabric, or I may switch it. I don't know. I'll decide that when I get there. But yeah, I couldn't resist. And of course it's Designworks and Joan Elliott and yada, yada, yada. So I got her. And then I got one more thing. I think just the holiday, like Halloween bug kind of bit me. And a lot of a lot of designers have designed various like curiosities, ye olde curiosity shop kind of themed patterns, whether it's a shelf or a cabinet or a shop or whatever. And I've been debating which ones I liked and which ones I didn't, which ones I wanted. And I finally settled on this one. This is Cabinet of Curiosities by Clouds Factory. Bring it in closer. And I really liked this one because there's sort of a variety here of things in the pattern. I've done a Clouds Factory pattern before, obviously. And I liked their style of charting. But anyways, I really wanted to do a Curiosities themed piece. And so I purchased this one because it's the one that I kind of settled on as my favorite. So that's going in stash. I, again, have no plans to start it necessarily. It's just I wanted to snag it up. So that's it. Oh, God, I got to do a big stretch. That's it. That's everything. So thank you for sticking around with me until this point in the video. I truly appreciate that. Hef and Milo are doing just fine. They're around here somewhere, sleeping by my feet. And other than that, I'll see you guys probably closer to the end of the year. So I have time to sort of get used to my new schedule and stitch on some more stuff, finish some more stuff. That's it. Again, I'll have everybody that I mentioned linked down below, products that I mentioned linked down below, Check out my Instagram for update pictures. If you want to reach out to me, of course, comment down below. I've got my email included. I've got my Instagram included. You can DM me or comment there. But yeah, I'm gonna go film my Quilter's Corner now. All right, guys, I'll see you guys again at the end of the year, probably, if not sooner. Bye.